Now, I'm delighted to introduce Liz Sargent. Now, Liz is an event and communications professional with extensive experience in designing and delivering complex multidiscipline event marketing, branding, and commercial campaigns. Now, for the last 2 years in her role as a senior event manager at Dassault Systèmes, Liz has been running a series of events for a cross-industry group of clients, looking at how businesses remain sustainable in the long term. And I'm delighted to say she's here today to share her lessons from delivering a major multi-day, multi-location studio hybrid customer event. Liz, it is wonderful to see you again. Now, I was heavily involved in that event, and what an event it was. Perhaps you could just tell everybody today, just in a few sentences, what is Dassault Systèmes? What was the purpose of the event, and what was the role within it that you played?
Lovely, thank you, Sian. So Dassault Systèmes is one of the largest software companies that you've never heard of. We provide solutions for 3D modeling, simulation, manufacturing and logistics, information intelligence, and social and collaborative processes. At its fullest, this means creating digital twins of products and businesses and even the human body. For example, Dassault Systèmes solutions played a major part in the COVID vaccines development. Our modelling and simulations techniques allowed scientists at Moderna and other bodies to model protein behaviours and shorten research cycles from years to months. As you said, sustainability is a critical topic to us. We believe that the technology agenda and the sustainability agenda are the same agenda, that the use of digital twin technology shortens development time, reduces waste, improves efficiency, and allows for rapid analysis and rework to achieve sustainable targets. As a result, we're proud that our customers remove 110 tonnes of plastic from the ocean every day, include all of the top 10 electric vehicle manufacturers, and generate 74% of global wind power. On this basis, in 2019, our teams developed the first edition of our showcase event, Leaders in Business Sustainability. We wanted to move away from the traditional conference format to a collaborative, discussion-led and interactive event for executives only.
So that's brilliant. So let's get a true sense of the event now, and let's hear from John Kitchingman, MD of Dassault Systèmes Northern Europe, with some highlights of the event.
And good afternoon, everybody. Let me extend my personal welcome to Leaders in Business Sustainability 2021. Pioneers, visionaries, and leaders. Across the span of human history, that's who has determined what ideas break through, what innovations become standardized, and what our society becomes. You're here when others in your position are not. And you're here, I hope, with a willingness to take what you learn and to turn it into action. Over the next few days, you'll be following the personal agenda you've built from our 33 fast-moving and insightful sessions. And in doing so, you'll be reminded of why embracing sustainability now is not only the right thing for businesses to do, it's the smart thing to do. To help you, we have a number of follow-up tools for you to access. In the lobby of this site, you'll find detailed business case studies across multiple sectors outlining how businesses are embracing sustainable approaches to drive agility and increased resilience. I myself, my team, and everyone at Dassault Systèmes is here to support you on your sustainable journey. Just tell us where you want us to go. Thank you.
So that event, Liz, LBS, was of course a set piece, wasn't it? You know, it was a really big moment in your events calendar. So in that sense, it was a departure, wasn't it, from before? So just talk us through your event strategy before, and then why would you say you had to adopt, or you felt you wanted to adopt, this new approach?
So it definitely was a new approach. Our team is responsible for events that cover 11 industry sectors across 16 countries. So on average, we look after 50 to 60 events a year, a mixture of our own, third-party participation and business partner events. That obviously means normally a huge number of communication plans, significant sales support and speaker requirements. So for this year's iteration of Leaders, we wanted to consolidate the messaging, planning, and focus on one key activity that would not only allow us to focus our teams and communications attention on a single plan, but also allow us to engage our leadership on a single big week. The key aim was to support sales in building higher and broader engagements in their accounts. And as such, from day one, sales helped define the topics that we would cover within the context of the overall story. We started with a collaborative brainstorming session with over 85 people from across sales, industry and marketing, which generated 500 candidate topics, refined through 2 executive sessions to the 33 sessions that finally made it into the agenda. The event itself was a hybrid event that ran over 3 days. And because we know with the best will in the world, nobody will join a 3-day virtual event, it was broken down into 7 acts, each of 2 hours, allowing the audience to build their own agendas based on their areas of interest. So 3 days, 7 acts, 33 individual sessions, and 55 speakers, 38 of them external.
Yeah, it was quite a feat, wasn't it? So obviously today we're talking about hybrid formats, bringing to the mix, and that with the LBS, you used the studio hybrid event. Just tell us why you thought to go down the hybrid route, and then talk us through the different phases of the event. Maybe, I know you've talked about the 7 acts and the number of speakers, but how did the prep, for example, differ from previous events?
Well, we knew the event had to be virtual, of course, but it needed to feel more of a TV production than home in the back bedroom that we're all getting a little tired of. The hybrid model gave us that, the ability to have Sian in the studio with the green screen, you in the studio with the green screen, was really impactful and gave us flexibility in approach for our speakers, some live in the studio, others remote with auto cue kits, such as I'm using now. Storytelling was central to our approach. We knew that the event must be built around a compelling storyline if it was to cut through the noise of modern business life and other events and get noticed. We knew that done well, then consistent and attention-grabbing branding would be easier. Recruiting speakers would be easier. Messaging would be easier to make meaningful and keep consistent. Attracting an audience would be easier. The list goes on. And that storytelling approach really informed our whole communication campaign and resulted in significantly stronger than average results from our advertising and LinkedIn campaigns, as well as giving our own internal teams the tools to become ambassadors for the event in their own right. And in that space, one of our biggest successes was the decision to provide every speaker with their own promotional material, which resulted in tens of thousands of views and significant registrations. But the strongest area from an event delivery perspective, to my mind at least, was the speaker preparation and support. Dependent on their role in the event and physical location, we gave speakers the choice of joining live from the studio, remote access using home studio kits, or pre-records, again, either remote or through the studio setup that you brought to our head office. In preparation, all speakers went through technical checks, content briefing, and rehearsals. And in the end, even the most senior board members made the time to rehearse when given the option. We did need support for this. Managing 55 speakers through this process was complex to say the least, but a combination of your team, the Crystal Interactive team, and the team from People Activation, our other agency, made this, if not simple, at least smooth from an external perspective.
Absolutely. So let's pick up on the live event part. How did that work?
Well, as you know, we used the Crystal Interactive Studio as the hub for the event, and Honestly, after the complications and frustrations of trying to run events remotely for the last 18 months, it was amazing to be back on site working with the team directly. It really is so much simpler. Having the core people in the studio made the event feel more grounded, and the green screen allowed the team to do rather clever things with the few presentations that were part of the agenda. It also allowed us to deal much more effectively with problems that came up. You were always able to step in and smooth through issues such as the inevitable connection failures with external speakers. It was also great to have other support people from our team in attendance on site and able to interact. So our internal communications team were able to moderate questions as they came in from the audience and bring engagement from all our other teams around the 16 countries.
Absolutely, Liz. I remember walking in and seeing all these people together, and it really was an amazing feeling, wasn't it, after all that time? So as you sit here, sort of analysing it post-event, what do you think it achieved for you, and what elements would you take and build on for the next event?
So it was, beyond a doubt, the most sophisticated of a virtual event that we've delivered. If nothing else, the quality of speakers speak for themselves. But most importantly, it's given our business teams the tools and reasons to engage with their target audience for the rest of the year. Because a large part of the plan for this event was what happens next. Getting people to the event was winning the battle, but using and reusing the content that we've created as core assets for both marketing and sales for the rest of the year is the war. And we now have 24 individual sessions, an ebook and supporting materials as a sustainability toolkit for the business to use moving forwards.